Welcome to this free education video series about natural remedies, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch. In these videos, I will discuss the basic pillars of natural remedies that you can use at home to be empowered to take control of your child's health. I'm Wendy Combs, pediatric nurse for over 20 years and mom to 2 great girls. Today I'm going to give you a little information about homeopathy and why it is such an amazing way to treat kids. It can be a game changer when it comes to treating your child's illnesses at home. Homeopathy changed my life. I was struggling with my 18-month-old daughter who had quit sleeping through the night, was showing quick meltdowns, and having some strange GI issues. I had been to lots of different doctors in the area to get help, and I got the, "she's fine." After being a pediatric nurse for a long time, I knew in my heart something was off. That landed me on my neighbor, Susan Kramer's doorstep. She has a homeopathic and herbalism practice in her home called Earthways. She got me and felt what I was saying. After having an appointment with her, she gave my daughter what is referred to as a constitutional remedy. Within 48 hours, this child was sleeping through the night again, temper tantrums were down, and I had a new 18-month-old. I was blown away. This wasn't a placebo, this was an 18-month-old who didn't even know that I had given her a remedy. I was hooked. I never looked back. My husband gave me a homeopathic kit for Christmas that year, and I was a woman on a mission. Give me an ailment and I will figure something out to help. I started to learn what homeopathy was all about, and it changed the way I saw how to use medicine. Homeopathy is a gentle and safe way to help the body do what it was designed to do. It is based on the premise of like cures like. Developed over 200 years ago by a doctor named Samuel Hahnemann, homeopathy takes a substance noted to cause certain symptoms, dilutes it down over and over, even hundreds of times, and then in this diluted form, it will cure what it causes. Let's say, for instance, an onion could cause one to have watery eyes, runny nose, or cold-like symptoms. However, if taken in a diluted form, it will cure the runny nose and watery eyes. This remedy is called Allium cepa, and it is derived from the common onion. Homeopathy also has no known side effects and doesn't interfere with any prescription medications. One remedy that is a must-have on hand at our house is belladonna. Recently, both my girls came down with a quick onset of a fever and headache that took them to the bed. Isn't this when we know they're really sick? I gave both of them belladonna just a few times. You give it till you get better, along with an amazing remedy called Quinton isotonic, which we will talk more about in another training videos, and some essential oils to the feet. And what do you know? They were both feeling back to normal the next morning and back to school. I love treating my family at home and watching them get better so fast. There are thousands of homeopathic remedies out there and various ways to use them. To keep it simple, please know that common ailments like sore throat, common cold, headaches, ear infections can be treated effectively, safely, and gently at home. However, if you are seeing issues on a more chronic basis, it is always advised to seek professional homeopathic help or an alternative type practitioner to be able to go a little deeper. That is where the constitutional remedy comes into play. Homeopathic remedies usually come in dissolvable pellet form. You can find them most easily at a health food store. For kids older than 1, it is pretty easy to give the pellet right into your child's mouth. For little tykes who might not be eating yet, you could let the pellet dissolve in a little water and give it with a spoon. Yes, homeopathy can be safely used in babies. It is very important not to touch the pellets with your hands, as this decreases the potency of the remedy. You will want to let it fall into the cap and then dump it into your mouth. Most of the containers look like a tube of chapstick, and they have a little valve in there, so only 1 or 2 will come out with a little twist. You want to have the cap under the valve to catch them when they fall out. For a dose, you really only need to give 1 or 2 pellets. It doesn't make a difference if you give 1 or 5 pellets. This is not like regular medications. It works on a vibratory frequency level, so 1 to 2 pellets is fine for a dose. You also take homeopathy at the first sign of illness and take it until you feel better. Sometimes this could be often as every 15 minutes, or sometimes it might be as often as every 2 hours. My youngest daughter woke up with a swollen eye one time, and we gave Apis every 15 minutes for an hour, and it was gone. Then we didn't have to give any more pellets. But with the fever and the belladonna, we gave 1 dose, and then a few hours later, 3 or 4 hours later, we gave another dose. It really just depends on how acute the situation is. There are different potencies for homeopathy, starting at 6 and going all the way up to the 1000s. This simply means the number of dilutions the remedy went through to get to the potency. For the purposes of this video and our training series, I recommend using 6C, 12C, or 30C at home to treat acute illnesses. Anything higher than a 30, you need advice from a trained professional. Let me show you an example of how easy it is to take a homeopathic remedy. Here's a video of my 7-year-old Ansley taking a homeopathic remedy. Note how she lets it drop into the cap and then dumps it into her mouth. One would usually let it dissolve under the tongue. My girls sometimes can't wait that long and usually end up chewing it, but it still works. Let's take a look.
My name is Ansley Combs. I am 7 years old and I'm going to show you how to take a homeopathic remedy. First, I twist this cap right here until it comes off. And make sure you don't just have a ferocious battle with this thing. If you just try to shake it, don't make it a ferocious battle and get all mad with it. You're not doing it right if you do it that way. There's a little seal at the bottom right here, and you have to twist it right here and try to get the little white bolt in the cap. Now, you don't want to touch the seal of this. You open your mouth wide so like that, get him there good, and try not to let the cap touch it. Now just let the ball rest under your tongue, and you've taken a homeopathic remedy.
Ansley is a champ at taking homeopathic remedies, and I don't know where I would be if we didn't have them in our home. I have treated countless ailments at home and saved many trips to the doctor by using these lovely little pellets. Homeopathic remedies can be bought in most health food stores or online. You can buy them in single remedies, but your best bet would be a kit that has more than one remedy to have on hand at any time for whatever ailment might come your way. Some family kits might start out with just 10 or 15 remedies, whereas some other kits can have as many as 200 remedies. Honestly, I splurged on my first kit 7 years ago that has 200 remedies and still use it to this day. It was definitely worth the investment. Here's just your basic introduction to what homeopathy is. If you're interested in learning more about how to use natural remedies and what remedies to use for specific ailments, visit the link below at parentsguidetonaturalremedies.com, where we have an online class for purchase. In it, we walk you through various natural remedies of when and how to use them for issues like fever, sore throat, tummy bug, earache, cough, colds, first aid, and much more. By taking this class, you will be confident to treat your child's common ailments naturally at home.